Welcome back, Love Nation. This is Nina. Like, share, and subscribe. Thank you to everybody that has been coming to my channel. Like this video, share this video, and hit that notification bell so you know when I drop my next one. I am now re-uploading part 3 of the initial Rust investigation. This might lead us into some clues as to why Alec Baldwin has been recharged. This is the final portion of the document. Again, the final portion of the document. This is part 3. Everybody's been wondering why Alec Baldwin has been recharged. So I am re-uploading the case, as this will definitely be a case to watch, even though the charges were initially dropped. I definitely want to know you guys' opinion below concerning this case, because this is definitely going to be a very interesting case that I will be watching for 2024, as Alec Baldwin has now entered a not guilty plea today. Please like, share, subscribe, and listen while I go through the third portion of these documents. And hit that thumbs up. Here we go. All right, you guys. So we are going to continue to get into the Rust movie investigation. And we are pulling out the receipts from the investigation. This is part 3. So as this report continues, Rust management did not ensure their own safety procedures taken from film industry. Safety bulletins issued by the industry-wide Labor Management Safety Committee were followed at the worksite. According to the General Safe Practices documents provided by Rust, the following safety bulletins were taken into consideration during the course of production: recommendations for safety with firearms and use of blank ammunition. Additionally, on January 7th of 2022, Rust attorneys informed NMED that the safety bulletins used on set included recommendations for safety with POWs and use of blank ammunition. Rust's use of procedures from Safety Bulletin 1, recommendations for safety with POWs and use of blank ammunition, and Rust's failure to effectively implement those procedures include the following. A. The property master or armorer will work in conjunction with production's designated safety representative to ensure that the following standards are adhered to. Failure to implement. The standard listed on Bulletin 1 were not enforced by Rust management or supervisors, including but not limited to Sarah Zachary, the property master, and Dave Halls, the safety coordinator. B. Bulletin number 1, page 1. Live ammo is never to be used nor brought onto the studio lot or stage. Failure to implement. Rust did not develop a process to ensure live rounds were not brought onto set, including failing to afford the armorer time to thoroughly inventory ammunition. C. Bulletin number 1, page 1. Before any use of pow-pow in a rehearsal and or on camera sequence or off-camera use, all persons involved must be thoroughly briefed at an on-site safety meeting where the pow-pows will be used. This meeting shall include an on-site walkthrough and or dry run with the property master or designee production representative and anyone that be using and or handling the pow-pow. Failure to implement. Employees stated that while safety meetings took place, they were not conducted each day. Pow-pows were used on set, and often any mention about pow-pows was brief but not specific. Bulletin 1, page 1. No one shall be issued a pow-pow until he or she is trained in a safe handling, safe use, the safety lock, and proper firing procedures. If there are any questions as to the competency of the person who will use the pow pow, the property master or shall determine if additional training is required, ensuring that a sufficient amount of time has been allotted for training and rehearsal. Failure to implement. Gabriel Pickle instructed Hannah Gutierrez Reed on October 17th, 2021, that no more trading sick days would take place, like training Alec and such, meaning Alec Baldwin. Rust Management did not provide the armorer or property master with the authority to determine if additional training was required in violation of Rust safety procedures. Bulletin 1, page 1. Additionally, this bulletin should be attached to the call sheet each day POW POWs will be used. Failure to implement. During the OHSB's interview of Dave Halls, he referred to the safety bulletins between the unions, between the Screen Actors Guilds, and IATSE, which represents the Technicians and Directors Guild of America. There are what we call safety memos, you know that describe the protocols. When asked if the safety memos were always attached to the call sheets, Hall responded, no, they were not on our call sheets. F. Bulletin 1, page 2. Never lay down a pow pow or leave it unattended unless actively filming or rehearsing. All pow pows should be safely secured. Failure to implement. After instructing Hannah Gutierrez Reed to focus more on her props assistant duties and less on armorer responsibilities, Gabriel Pickle then informed Hannah Gutierrez Reed that production and the AD team have seen twice that there was a pow pow left unattended after a scene. We need all weapons to be in your control anytime they are used. Hannah Gutierrez Reed explained, conducting her armorer duties and prop assistant duties created a gap wherein actors or stuntmen put down a pow pow and step away, leaving it unattended. Hannah informed Gabriel that it would slow production down terribly if we had to check them back in between scenes. And I'm forced to do both. That's when mistakes get made, like the pow pow being unattended. Gabriel Pickle instructed Hannah Gutierrez Reed to develop a check in and check out system for weapons that did not follow up to ensure weapons were secured, and Hannah Gutierrez Reed concerns about them not being adequate time to perform armorer duties. Bulletin number 1, page 2. Refrain from pointing a pow pow at anyone. It is absolutely necessary to do so on camera. Consult the property master or armorer or other safety representatives, such as the first AD, stage manager. Remember that any object at which you point a pow pow could be destroyed. Failure to implement. Lane Looper stated that many camera shots had the pow pow pointed and firing at the camera. Helena Hutchins and Joel Sousa were injured when a pow pow was pointed in their direction. When Hutchins' injury resulted in her deletion, Rust Management representative Dave Halls was present prior to and around the time the pow pow discharged a live round, severely injuring two cast members. As Russ's top management safety official, Mr. Halls did not consult with property master or armorer during or after the pow pow was loaded, handed to the actor, and pointed toward crew members in order to determine that pointing the pow pow at persons was absolutely necessary. Bulletin number 1, page 2. Firearms are to be loaded just before they are used in a scene. Failure to implement. On the day Helena Hutchins and Joe Sousa was powed, the firearm was loaded and handed to Alec Baldwin during an informal rehearsal and prior to filming the scene involving a pow pow. Russ did not provide staff responsible staff responsible for ensuring the pow pow safety with sufficient time to inspect ammunition received to ensure that no live rounds were present. The first misfire, which occurred October 16th, 2021, presented a hazard to Sarah Zachary and any employees nearby. Russ failed to address the hazardous conditions and reinforce adherence with their own protocols to protect workers. Russ management, including Gabriel Pickles and Roe Walters, ignored concerns of firearms misfired on set, according to statements taken by the OHSB. Dave Halls, the safety coordinator, was present on the set when the first accidental discharge occurred. Mr. Halls did not discuss the incident with staff, report the incident to Russ Productions, review the incident as safety coordinator, ensure Sarah Zachary took appropriate action with respect to safety protocols or take any other corrective measures. According to employees interviewed, including Hannah, crew members were verbally expressed their surprise and discomfort when Russ management's lack of action regarding the workplace safety issue. Russ initiated no investigation action for the second Pow Pow misfire October 16th beyond Hannah Reed asking Blake Texiera how it happened. Dave Hollins was present during the incident and did not speak with either Hannah or Blake. Lane Looper, first assistant camera, texted Roe Walters informing her, "We've now had 3 accidental pow pows. This is super unsafe. The third pow pow involved a special effects popper, which is a small POW that simulates a bullet impact on a surface." Roe Walters responded, "Accidental discharge on the pow pows?" Looper responded, "Yeah, 2 discharges today and one on week 1." Roe Walters did not ask for any additional questions to try to understand what had occurred, despite being informed of the misfires and that at least one employee expressed not feeling safe. Russ management took no corrective action. Russ recognized the hazards associated with pow pows and adopted safety bulletins that were designed to control and mitigate these hazards. Russ described these protocols as being enforced by First Assistant Director, who is Safety Coordinator. Ryan Smith, producer, also stated that the closing conference that all members of cast and crew have stop work authority. Despite this, no corrective investigation or disciplinary action was taken after the first or second pow pows misfired by any member of management. Dave Hall's first assistant director and safety coordinator was physically present and witnessed these misfires and chose not to take any corrective investigation or disciplinary action. When the unit production manager, Roe Walters, was informed by the props master and first assistant camera that weapons misfire had occurred, Walters did not initiate any corrective, investigative, or disciplinary action in accordance to Russ safety protocols. And this is basically the gist of this letter. I just want to just go ahead and scroll through. Most of the last information is information that basically is a summation, and then it just listed recommendations, obvious recommendations that are already used in the movie industry. This is the end of this document. Like, share, and subscribe, you guys. I will continue to follow this case. And until next time, enjoy your day and be safe. Bye, guys.